We're live.
What's up, guys? Once again, we're back here with Worst Case Scenario. I am Bill. Got Bennett. Got D'Lo. We're back here to talk NFL draft.
Fitting all night in America. Football night in America, people.
Shit's about to go down, fellas.
On this, we were going to go ahead and break down our top 10 picks. So how it's set up now, I don't know if you guys have it. I don't have it set up for any trades. Right now, we're going to go off of the top 10 teams picking and who we think are going to go in that destination.
I actually do have just one trade in my top 10.
I think there's going to be trades that I didn't put in. Straight now.
The only one, I only put one trade in there. I got a feeling that there's going to be more than one trade in the top 10, actually. So,
and I think we're going to have a special guest tonight. I think that old Biggs O'Reilly is going to make it over here tonight. So we're waiting to see him. I know we got some Brock. Brock's supposed to be coming, old Brock O'Reilly, so let's find out. But you guys ready to start this up?
Yeah,
get it going, man.
All right, on the clock, Carolina. All right, I have, even though I don't agree with the pick, I believe that they're going to go with this, and that is Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. I don't like it because I'll tell you right now, I don't want a 5'10" in one quarter guy standing behind guys that are 6'7" trying to throw the ball. I don't agree with it, but I believe that's the pick they're going to go. What do you think, D'Lo?
I tend to agree. The last time that we kind of sat down and did a little bit of a mock draft, I kind of shook things up and said that they were going to make a trade for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has since signed his deal today, so I don't see him going anywhere. So I agree, Bryce Young with the first overall pick. What do you think?
Bennett, what do you think?
I got Bryce Young too. Now you got to think this kid played at Alabama, Phil. So he's played underneath guys that's 6'6" and 6'7".
That's true.
He has a way of using his ability to either stay in the pocket and find his reads, or he's very easily can get outside the pocket and find an open man. That's actually when he's most dangerous. The reason why I say this is, I think I said it on the first podcast or the first video was he is going to electrify your fan base. He's going to bring tickets to the crowd, to the field. So.
Yeah, he's going to put asses in the seats.
Yeah, for sure. So,
well, that's your opinion. But so it's unanimous. Everybody here says Bryce Young to Carolina. On to number 2, it is the Houston Texans, and I have them drafting C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. D'Lo, what do you have?
This is crazy, but this plays into later on in the draft. I had the Texans actually taking Tyree Wilson.
Shaking it up.
Yeah, definitely. I don't believe that the Texans are sold on the quarterbacks that are going so early in the first round, and I do believe that they're going to take an edge rusher here. So.
I don't know if this is a case of D'Lo not smoking today before he did this pick, or of him over smoking, but I do not see that.
I like the shakeup, but I'm actually staying with you. I'm going with C.J. Stroud. The reason why I do that is D'Amico Ryan, the new head coach, he has already gone on record and saying you don't win in the end without a quarterback.
That's right.
He was there the first year, the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. He knows what it takes, and that is what it takes to get you to the next level.
So what was yours again? You had them taking
Tyree Wilson.
But you have them shipped. You have a trade right here, right?
And the third pick overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get to that.
It does make sense though, because like you said, D'Amico Ryan, that's a defensive-minded player.
Yeah.
He's got him drafted a defensive player.
I'm just saying, and everybody knows people play catfish around this time of year, but he said that you got to have a quarterback to win. He does know that.
I agree. All right. Third pick, Arizona. Things could shift around right here. I have them taking Will Anderson. What do you guys think?
I have Tennessee trading up, giving up their 11th pick for the third pick, their 41st
Oh, he went all
pick,
deep. He went all deep in this.
and their 2024 first rounder to move up and take C.J. Stroud.
Ooh.
I love it. Hey, you had a plot. The plot thickens. I love it.
Yes.
I'm sticking with Phil.
If I was a betting man, I would not take that bet. But not bad. Okay. So once again, who do you have?
Will Anderson.
Okay,
I agree
okay.
with
So
you.
we're three right here.
Yeah.
Same as one. Stop looking at my paper.
Fucking boring is what you
All right. Fourth year,
Save money.
fourth year, Indianapolis Colts. And even though if I was the Indianapolis Colts, I would go with Gardner Minshew because I believe Gardner Minshew is a good quarterback. I think he can lead that team. But I believe that they're looking to make a splash. They've taken these older quarterbacks, have not done anything. So I believe they take Will Levis and they turn that franchise around based on the words of Peyton Manning. So what do you have here?
I have Will Levis as well.
Hold on now. Are you fucking copying? Was you copying off me?
I was not. I
He was copying off
was not. I know I had
I
mine
have
done.
Will Levis as well going to the
Mine
Colts.
was done way before Bennett. He was writing it right before we went on air. So, all right. So it's unanimous. The second time unanimous here. Next up with the fifth pick, we have the Seattle Seahawks. And man, some people say that they're still going to look for a quarterback. I don't believe so.
Yes.
I don't. I believe that they're going to take the speedster, Jalen Carter, right here.
Speedster, he's a defensive lineman.
When I say that, I'm talking about he was driving a car, killed the others.
Oh,
Jordan, come on.
Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel's buddy.
Oh,
There we
crap.
go.
See, okay, so we did smoke.
I agree. Jalen Carter's a very good fit for Seattle here, and yeah, I mean, you know,
So you have that same pick?
I
today?
absolutely do.
All right. What do you got?
Damn it!
have-
Jalen Carter.
Hey, this is what happened live. I didn't look at his paper. I think he looked off mine. Anyway, next up, number 6. Hey, Charlie, we're talking about the Detroit Lions. And I have them taking Tyree Wilson. I am going defense. What do you have, D'Lo?
I haven't taken Will Anderson out of Alabama here, man.
I don't
Well, he's
think
already off the
either-
board on mine.
I don't think either one of those are wrong. I didn't go that route.
Where'd you go?
I went Christian Gonzalez.
Oh,
And it is a
oh,
straight up race. And whoever you prefer
Race.
when it comes to Witherspoon,
race.
Witherspoon and Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I just think they take Gonzalez. I actually like Witherspoon more. But Gonzalez is, I mean, he checks every box.
Well, I got to tell you, so far out of everything, that's a jump right there because most everybody has Witherspoon as the number one corner, but in your eyes, you see Gonzalez jumping.
I just think he's the more total package.
I tend to agree.
Witherspoon is he will shake things up. He's a playmaker, but I think Gonzalez is more of the total solid pick.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
go wrong.
Somebody
I'm
that's
not
going to
even-
be more consistent rather than just being a playmaker. I understand what you're saying. Absolutely.
Next up, we got Las Vegas. Man, they got holes to fill. I mean,
Yeah.
that organization is it's in limbo with everything that they're doing. I have them taking. Get this, man. I know you guys wanted this guy, but he's off the board here in my book. Peter Skowinski, Skoronski, whatever we say, is a big man that can play tackle and can play guard in the NFL. What do you have, D'Lo?
Well, first I want Phil to show you guys how he explained Skoronski last week when we were talking about it. He kind of did this little alligator T-Rex arm thing. So
Little
Yeah.
arms, man.
yeah, he does. He has little
Guard.
arms.
Guard
so-
in the NFL. College, you can play tackle, but in the NFL, some of the big boys, kind of like WCW back in the 90s. It's where the big boys play.
WCW.
WCW. Ben, what do you have here?
No, hold on. I don't
Oh.
have Skoronski. Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah.
On this
Oh.
one, I have
Oh.
Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, so
I like it.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What do you have, Bennett?
I just want to address the fact about the Las Vegas Raiders having holes to fill. You guys could fill those holes with your homeless population. All right, you need to do
That's
something
true.
about
That's
that.
well, that's more like
It's a terrible
San Francisco.
thing. We need to get it fixed
I
out
don't
there.
think he
I
realized.
have
they left
copied
the
off Phil's paper once again. Skoronski.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Delos, shocking again that you took Gonzalez over Witherspoon.
I did.
It's gonna be interesting.
I think that when it comes to playmakers that are left on the board, Las Vegas needs to shake some things up, man. I mean, they've got a couple playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, but their defense is lacking, and I think Gonzalez could be a very good playmaker for years to come. So, and the way Las Vegas works, he'll be somebody to trade away here in a couple years. So
I was got to check see if Mel Kiper's sending me messages. We're getting so close to it right now. Hey, number 8 on the board. It is the Atlanta Falcons, and man, dude, I have them going defense. Nolan Smith. What do you have, D'Lo?
Atlanta, I have them shaking it up again. I have them taking Smith and Jigba, I believe is his name.
Oh, the receiver from
receiver
Ohio State.
from Ohio-
Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. I just believe they need a receiver after Ridley got traded away. They got London there, and
Does it concern you?
who's their tight end that also he's a badass. Their tight end there in Atlanta.
Why is that?
It's slipping my mind right now, but he's also a badass. So they got some weapons, but to put another receiver out there on the outside.
Yeah, he's awesome. I know you're talking about number 8.
Yeah,
Not Hill or I don't know, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, so-
hey, it's not. But and let's not forget. Do you think that the numbers from last year, because he was injured, but are you thinking about the year before?
Yeah, I'm
when he was
thinking.
with 2 guys.
I'm
that got
thinking
drafted
that
to
they're
the
looking
NFL?
at his 2021 season rather
Those
than
numbers
Yeah.
were 95 catches, 1,600 yards, 9 touchdowns.
absolutely.
Better numbers than Garrett Wilson and Olive, who both were drafted, top 15 in the draft? And yet he had better stats than both of those guys in 2021.
Oh, he's a
But
beast.
last year, injuries.
Well,
were-
it's just unfortunate that Harrison Jr. is not coming out this year because
Oh.
he's the talk of the town right now. So
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him go to the Colts. Just to follow that.
wouldn't it be crazy to see the Colts get him and Arch Manning? Arch in a few years.
that would be something else.
Yeah.
Let's see, Bennett. What do you say?
Well, you know what? I'm picking this as if I was the GM of the Atlanta Falcons, but I really think they are just going to butcher this thing. I really do. I have them picking Tyree Wilson. I think that'd be good for them all around. But I think they're going to go outside the norm. I think they're going to go somewhere way off in left field and pick something that no one is even thinking about.
I already had them off my board, but that's all right. Number 9, we got those Chicago Bears, huh? Those Chicago Bears. I'm sitting with 2 of them right here. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think they got to shore up that line. I think they got to protect that quarterback. I'm going Paris Johnson, offensive tackle. What do you say?
I
D'Lo?
100% agree. If it's not Paris Johnson, then what's the fella from Tennessee? He's been flying up the draft boards this week.
Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright, correct?
I do believe you're
Darnell
right.
Wright.
Yes. Yeah, he's been flying up the draft boards this week.
Yeah,
so.
I like either or. And I actually did put down Paris Johnson, but I do think they will go whatever is available at the time. I don't know if they have a pick.
I believe
Skaronski, Paris Johnson, Darnell Wright.
I believe that if the guy that they want isn't there, there's a good possibility that they trade down to somewhere like the Steelers, somewhere in the teens, and they push like hell to try to get another first round pick for next year. So
interesting. All
Kyle
right.
Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts,
you're
it was.
You're right.
All right, number 10, Philadelphia. They were just in the Super Bowl. They're getting a top 10 pick here.
What do you think?
I'm going to go with running back, Bijan Robinson.
I did as well.
Good
I
running back,
actually-
Texas.
I wouldn't mind seeing him go to the Bears, to be honest with you. I believe that he's going to be a franchise running back. He's going to be the game-changing running back. He can catch the ball. He can block. He can pretty much do it all. So I wouldn't have mind seeing him go to the Bears, but I don't think that's where he's going to go. So what I believe is that he's going to go to number 10 to the Philadelphia Eagles as well.
That's not bad. I'm going to, Bennett, what do you say here?
You know what? I just looked at mine and looked at yours. 8 out of 10. I went Bijan Robinson too.
Oh,
So
man.
we had 2 different picks. And no, I didn't look at your stuff.
That's a top 10, but because, hey, listen, nobody's flying higher in the NFL right now than my New York Jets.
Well, before you go there, I wanna check something out real quick.
Go ahead.
So I had the Arizona Cardinals trading out of the 3rd position and going down to number 11. I believe that they're probably going to take an edge rusher as well. So with Tyree Wilson and them guys off, a Lucas Van Ness maybe from Iowa, something like that, going to a Arizona at number 11. But number 12 is where it kind of sets in for me. I believe Houston's going to come back and they're going to get their quarterback. They're going to take Anthony Richardson with number 12.
Oh,
so
not bad.
That was just kind of my thinking on the top 10.
That's not bad at all.
I think ours is more sure thinking, but there's no way it's going to go like that. I actually like yours better.
Yeah.
Because it's more like the stupidity that happens every year.
I don't believe, and I don't believe that Houston's sold on the quarterbacks going in the top 10. And so I believe that they come back at number 12 and get their guy. And everybody's been very hype on Anthony Richardson, and I believe that's going to end up being the Houston Texans guy. So,
all right, I just want to throw it in, though. I'd like to throw in 2 picks real quick. I know we're going to do the top 10, but after the Jets doing that trade and getting Aaron Rodgers, I think that the Jets shore up the line. I think they go out. I think they get Broderick Jones.
I think he's still there, and I agree.
And I think that they shore up that line. What do you say, Dila?
I think that's
they're picking 15th.
I mean, that is, if he's there for sure, that's a possibility of, especially with Becton being so up and down in his career.
Like one game over the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's had double, both knees have been blown out. I mean, there's a lot of question marks around.
On the other side, we have Brown, who is 38 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just we have to get a tackle, and I believe that he's going to be available there. Hey, everybody says his stats, everything says that Brickashaw Ferguson, who was a corner block for the Jets for 11 seasons.
I'm going to tell you this, bud. I know it's your team, but if he's going at 15th, he ain't no Brickashaw.
I mean, Mangold was late in the first round, wasn't he?
And Mangold played 13, 14 seasons.
Not a highly sought after position, moreover than a tackle.
Yeah, that's true.
Tackle.
That's true.
So,
all right, the other pick that I want to do is because I know we got a buddy listening that calls us the Goofball Mafia. We ain't the Goofball Mafia, Chad. But we're going to go ahead and do Minnesota. Minnesota is where are they drafting at? They are they're 23rd. 23rd. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb, even though if he's there, they take Witherspoon because they need a corner.
Oh, he ain't going to be there at that point. Yeah.
I don't. But let me tell you something.
Look, dude. Green Bay drafts at 13th. They could easily take a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? So,
but if Witherspoon's off the board and this tight end is there, I say you go Notre Dame's Michael Mayer. I don't think you can do wrong there. They've struggled trying to find that tight end up there. I say you take him. What do you say, D'Lo?
There's a lot of ways that Minnesota could go here, man. They're talking about trading the running back in Cook. They're talking about trading Cousins.
Well, saying this is going to probably be the last year for Cousins there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways that Minnesota could go here, but I tend to agree. I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go defensive backfield. I don't know if it's going to be one of those top cornerbacks or if it'll be a top safety or something along those lines. I'm not going to name because I don't know half these guys, but
I think that they're going to fall from a team that was so good last year. I believe that they're going to be the biggest fall out of playoff teams, and I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs this year, to be honest.
Well, if that's the case, then Minnesota, Chicago Bears. Always in the market to take Justin Jefferson off your hands. You just give us a call, guys.
Let us know, Chad.
So, Ben, who did you take there?
At best case scenario, I guarantee he's off the board, but I'd say the best fit for him is Jordan Addison.
I don't blame it. USC.
Yeah, he's a speedster. Got good hands, excellent route running.
I'm worried about his height.
Don't think he'll be there. Something more along the lines that I do think will be there. As you said, my second thought was Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. I think he might be around that side. If he is available, why not go ahead and draft Henderson as your backup quarterback for the future?
And Phil, Phil had made a comment to me.
But I think Deonta Banks is what they're going to pick.
When we were on our way over
not
here,
a bad
Phil
pick.
had
I
made
just
a
think that's
comment
where
to
it's
me
going
that he thought that there could be possibly 2 running backs go in the first round.
I do believe that.
And if Cook gets traded, don't be surprised if Minnesota steps in and takes one of these first guys, so they got somebody to.
I think Robinson's going to be off the boards, but it would be Jahmyr Gibbs, running back from Alabama. 926 yards rushing, 7 TDs last year, and he ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. He's a speedster. He's not going to run over guys. He's going to run around them, but man, he's got the speed that can hit the end zone.
He's a weapon. He's a Swiss Army knife.
100%.
Absolutely good receiving. Yeah.
100%. But that's our top 10 with 2 extra picks thrown in. What do you guys think? Just shooting off the cuff here. What do you guys think Green Bay does here?
Well, like I said,
Who gives a shit?
I believe with Green Bay moving up to number 13, if was it Witherspoon? If he's there, they probably grab Witherspoon.
Yeah, I hope not.
How many holes? I mean, does Green Bay seem to be a team that has a lot of holes?
Well, they got some issues on their offensive line. Bakhtiari and things like that tend to get hurt. They lost their tight end. Tanyan went to the Bears. They lost their wide receiver. Lazard went to the Jets. So there's players, there's positions that need help, man, for sure. So
you're right, and I think what they're worried about the most, not worried so much, is because so much they have confidence, so-called, but is their quarterback. So what are we going to do to give them some help? You go offensive line, you go tight end.
Tight end would be a comfort zone.
And I think Jordan Addison will be there. I think Jordan Addison will go right then. I said it for the Vikings because I said best case scenario. I think Jordan Addison goes to Green Bay.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad pick at all.
Interesting.
What do you think? What do you think about Green Bay? They could use a receiver.
Well, I said Michael Mayer, but if he's there, I can see Green Bay taking him. They need a tight end. They need so many things in Green Bay.
Yes.
It's truly.
And I don't think they're coming into this season. I don't think that they're confident that Jordan Love is truly the guy. I think that they just had to find out before his rookie contract ran out.
Because for the 5th-year option.
Yeah, but if they were to turn around and say, okay, we're going to let him go, and he goes and signs somewhere, and then he ends up becoming a franchise quarterback with somebody, that's going to look so bad on the management, man. And so they had to find out what he was. Man.
Remember, they don't have a whole lot of money because they're paying over $40 million in dead cap space for Rodgers being sent away. So you're hampered by that, which the Jets were able today to renegotiate his contract. And next year, the Jets are going to pay out the ass, but they got more room now to go out and get even more free agencies in this push, rush, whatever you want to say, to try to get to the playoffs and try to win a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, you guys are in a window.
2-year window.
You're in a window, absolutely.
2-year window is what it is. So Green Bay, I say that they're going to take tight end or receiver. I agree. Somebody that we didn't talk about was a guy named Zay Flowers. He is a wide receiver.
Boston College.
Short one, 5'9". That worries.
Didn't you have Atlanta taking wide receiver?
Smith and Jigba.
Like I said, Atlanta somehow butchers the draft. So Zay Flowers at number 8.
Who did you say was the quarterback that was
not saying anything wrong with Zay Flowers. I'm saying it's a little
I don't even know who Atlanta's quarterback is.
No, well, you was talking about Hooker on the way here, and you was letting me know that he's actually 25 years old.
He is.
That's
so here's the deal. If Hooker gets drafted in the first round,
he's experienced. He knows how to drive. He can vote.
If Hooker gets drafted in the first round and he gets that 5th-year option, his rookie deal won't be up until he's 30 years old. So, who's going to pay a guy heading into his 30s their first big deal, man?
I feel like I didn't get my rookie deal until I was about 30 years old.
And you know what? When you asked me, and I told you that I thought that when we talked the other day, I said 5 quarterbacks go in the first round.
Yes.
I'm saying 4 go now. But I'm saying 2 running backs, and I'm thinking that Gibbs, who I think we talked about him going somewhere, I think Gibbs ends up landing in Cincinnati. I do.
Oh,
Well, there's a good possibility of that because I do see. What is there? Is there running back Giovanni Bernard there?
No,
Cincinnati.
No. They have Mixon right now.
Mixon. That's who I meant.
yeah. But you got to think.
I do see
all
him
these
possibly.
teams at Super Bowl contenders, time after time, we think that they're going to go somewhere or another. And a lot of times they just go to the playmaker.
Yeah.
They go to another receiver, an extra running back. And it's like, why are you doing it? You're already loaded up, but it works.
I agree.
They got success. I mean, it's shown time and time again.
I think we're going to be shocked at how many corners go off the board in the first round. I think later on, I think corners are going to fly off the board. I really do.
Yeah, you'll get your top two, and then when that third one goes off, everybody's going to start to panic because then it'll start to get thin at the position. So
I would say this draft, though, it's loaded with offensive tackles. It's loaded with some good wide receivers, some good corners, some good defensive ends, some good edge rushers, man. So
I think this draft period is once you get past the top 2 or 3 players, you don't have the depth that you would in some of these other drafts. So I believe that people are going to be scrambling to get up. You'll see more trade ups because people are going to try to get the players. That
I think the trades are just going to be outrageous tonight.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah,
I think the draft's going to be prolonged because of the trades. I think everybody has plans on it, and they've probably already been talking for probably not the last 24 hours, probably the last 24 days.
Yeah,
and trying to negotiate something. So we'll see how that goes.
So
speaking of which,
so
go ahead.
we went through our top basically 15. We got a new segment that we're going to kind of throw in here for the draft, and it's called Bennett's 2-minute drill.
Yeah,
So
I actually got the stopwatch on. I got a series of.
Y'all didn't even say we had a question up there.
Oh yeah, Chad just wanted
we
to know about the
answered it. We
Vikings.
answered it for you,
Yeah,
Chad.
yeah.
Come on, Chad.
Go back and rewatch it.
Fucking amateur.
Shower time.
So what we're going to do here, guys, I'm going to spurt off a couple of questions. I'm going to start the clock on 2 minutes, and we're going to go around the table and just name them off. You just got to name yes or no, unless it's asking for a number or a team or whatever.
Okay.
So here we go. We're going to start with you, Phil.
Yep.
All right. How many quarterbacks in the first round?
4.
D'Lo?
I say there could be 3 to 4.
I say 4. Tight ends?
2.
1.
3.
I believe it.
Okay.
How many trades?
Trades. I'm going to go with 3. 3 in the top 20. There could be more as it falls. So 5. I'll say 5 total.
I'm going to say 4. 4 trades in the first round.
I say 5.
All right, next up.
How many corners?
Ooh,
3.
4.
3.
4's a
Oh,
good
4,
number.
man.
4's a good number. I should have said 4. You're right.
More defensive or offensive players?
Man,
Um,
I think more offensive. I think with the quarterbacks, with the running backs, with the wide receivers, with the tight ends, with the offensive tackles,
offensive.
I'm telling you, offense, man.
I'm going defense. I think it's going to be stacked at the beginning with offense and heavy at the end with defense. You'll have that spurt in the defense where, you got a couple of edge rushers come off, and whenever you see that, you're going to see boom, boom, boom because people panic. Same thing with corners, boom, boom, boom. But then it'll slow down, and then at the end, I think it'll come back down to that. All right. First 2 players from the same school taken in the first round. Now, you ain't got to name the players. I want to know the school.
Alabama.
I say Georgia.
Wow, that's possible, man. But I say Alabama.
Yep.
Okay. We did that in 1:35. That was excellent, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
I agree.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like that little segment, man. We ought to try to keep that running. Even
Usually that goes for how long I stay awake during like a UFC fight. 2-minute warning.
when you look over and Bennett's head's nodding, you got 2 minutes before he's gone.
Here's another question I did want to add to this was who you guys actually looking forward to seeing play offensive and defensively?
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Bijan Robinson's all about, especially if he goes to Philadelphia, because they're gonna have him like a Swiss Army knife everywhere, man.
Outside of like Roger Jones, who I think is going to go to the Jets,
Come on, nobody's going to watch
I
a
wanna
damn
see-
tackle.
because I want to prove. I want to see Will Levis play because I think this is the best quarterback in the draft
That's
this year.
cool.
I really
That's cool.
do.
Phil got convinced by Peyton Manning coming out and really giving him a seal of approval that Will Levis is going to be the guy this
Hey,
year.
and I'll admit it.
I mean,
right now,
Peyton Manning says it's gold, baby.
I'll tell you-
Peyton Manning says it's gold.
out of the top 4 quarterbacks coming out this year, hell, you could even say out of the top 5, he has the fewest amount of yards thrown, and he doesn't have the fewest TDs. But I'll tell you now, what was his cast like around at Kentucky compared to schools like Alabama, Ohio State?
What nobody's
Florida,
nobody's looking at is that Will Levis actually went to a bigger school and couldn't make it onto the field and had to enter the transfer portal and go to Kentucky.
Ooh.
Also, there's a couple things that
Sorry, Will.
that Phil's not looking at. He's not looking at this so much with Will Levis, and he's also not looking at this so much with Anthony Richardson. Their completage percentage. They're horrible. They're horrible, man. And those are things that you can't teach. If you can't put the ball on the receiver,
Well,
then-
again, if you ain't got a receiver that can catch the ball at
I
Kentucky,
agree.
but like I said, he couldn't get on the field at a big school, so he transferred to go to Kentucky. So that should say something about his skill set.
well, let me tell you something. The one, CJ Stroud is the one that threw for the most yards last year.
And the most
You know what I'm
touchdowns,
He
41
did.
touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's easy when you have
I agree.
the top
All-star
crop of the
cast.
talent. You have
All-star
all that.
cast.
So your shit is going to be better if you go to Alabama or Ohio State than if you go to Kentucky or Tennessee. I'll even give it to Hooker. But Hooker is a 25-year-old Hooker. You know what I'm saying?
Now I got a question for you guys.
I wish I had a 25.
Does the fact that CJ Stroud basically bombed the new cognitive test, basically, do you think that has an effect? Do you think?
Evidently, they made a new test up that I have been talking about. And
What are you guys talking about? Like when the cops pull you over?
No, we're talking about
Well,
in
there's a
place
thing
of the
that-
Wonderlic.
Yeah, they took the Wonderlic away, and now it's called the S2 cognitive test. And CJ Stroud bombed it, dude. Like he bombed it. They actually said that Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson had 2 of the highest scores, and CJ Stroud was like one of the lowest.
So we just
scores.
know what this test is called. We don't know what it's.
I don't know what it consists of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
I just wondered if you thought that it would be telling to what his career is.
well, why did this test get put in place? Was it because NFL teams, owners? stuff
Well,
like
the
that?
Wonderlic was in place for years before that, and they were trying to figure something out that was more in tune to football shit rather than just, hey, why does the dog cross the road type of shit? You know what I mean? So
But how much do you guys, and we talked about this, I don't care what they do on Pro Day. I think Pro Day it doesn't help you. It only hurts you.
you say that, man, but Jalen Carter showed up to
I
his
said
pro
it
day.
only hurts you. A Pro Day only hurts you.
But when you show up to your pro day 9 pounds overweight and you can't perform all the drills, that's very telling to how dedicated you are to your craft.
Sounds like the UFC fighter that showed up 9 pounds over.
That was Kamzat, wasn't it?
Yeah, he took it serious when he was coming to beat your brother, Nate Diaz. Is the long lost third brother of the Diazes. We all know it. So,
Yeah.
but I don't put any faith in pro days or even the combine. Really, I think tape against legitimate players is how you determine these things. And I want my quarterback to be able to read a defense. I want my quarterback to be able to look at 2, 3, 4 different targets and not take off when the first one is covered.
So as much as you guys are sitting here saying this about Will Levis not having the receivers,
I didn't say that. I was talking about Richardson.
some of the competition that he went up against at Kentucky wasn't as now. Don't get me wrong, he does play. I think Kentucky is in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Not upper echelon.
They're not
getting
the
talent.
upper. They're not in the upper echelon of.
Are you going to go there knowing that you got to play Alabama, you got to play Georgia, you got to play LSU, you got to play Florida, these top schools?
I'm going to tell you guys something. If this tells you how weak that this quarterback class is this year, they said that Penix coming out next year is better than any of the quarterbacks
We all know where
this
he
year.
started out at,
He
right?
started out as a Hoosier,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's with the Huskies now. And Michael Penix, dude. So
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know, dropping knowledge bombs on us.
yeah.
That ain't now. Gio's guessing that shit. He didn't read that nowhere.
but I spend the most time watching TV out of all three of us.
Enough said. Enough said.
Shit.
All right. We just wanted to drop that. We may come back in live during the draft. If something big happens, a big trade, we might come back in.
I think we should go live for the top 10 picks or
Well,
something.
now what are we doing? We're
Just
doing
as,
nothing?
yeah, just
We're
as a
watching
reaction
this.
video. So then we drop this. We're gonna go have our pre-draft meal and maybe shotgun a few beers or something.
Oh, in
but,
8 minutes?
you know,
So the
so-
draft's through. But we'll be back on here, guaranteed.
give
Appreciate
us,
you watching.
yeah, give us about 10 minutes or so, and we'll jump back on.
And this has been worst case scenario.
Appreciate you guys.
Woo woo! I'm still sitting here watching.
I'm not going back on in 8, 10